That's not what was supposed to run. Where's my other thing? Oh, for fuck's sake. What the hell happened? Hey, everybody. Morning. I totally wasn't ready for that. So apparently, Livestream Studio reset on load of the software this morning. Good morning, everybody. And when it reset, it lost my intro video. It lost the sequence that I had. And so when I clicked to run, it did nothing that I expected to do, except for run the really cool logo that Ashley had. Gosh, I love mornings like this. Good morning, everybody. Been very distracted by the fact that the climate catastrophe that we were looking forward to in the equatorial area of Earth over the next couple years is actually beginning in North America. Exciting. Very exciting. So I don't know if you guys have seen that. Yes, it was a terrible way to start off the show. It's another reason why, and I told Markus before we started, I'm like, I've got to open with this really serious monologue. I got this really important thing to say, and so much for that. Yeah, there's a difference. This is why, we remain in the dark shadows of independent media. You can't even hear Markus yet hearing there. Now you guys can hear Markus. But morning, Ellis and Louise and John, Warren and Steve and Real Jingy and Mike Stapleton and Joanne and Melissa and Eco and Louise and Catherine and Bob's your uncle and Springfield, Metalhead and Michael and Jeff. Boy, you got a lot of... I'm not going to be able to go through everybody's names. Good morning, everyone who's here. And if I missed your name, sorry. Maybe we'll get it tomorrow. Lots of stuff going on. I love John in every gay way possible. Thank you so much. Okay, that works for me. So, things. The cover card. Since I totally blew the opening here. The cover card, that is, I'll tell you exactly where that is. It's frightening what's going on in America right now. I spent a lot of time watching the Weather Channel. Waters flood the intersection of Interstate 44 and Highway 141. This is on May 2nd, yesterday. This is from the top floor of the Drury Inn in Valley Park, Missouri. The flooded Meramec River has shut down all traffic at the intersection. And this is one view, one example of the chaos that is happening right now. Hey, Barbara. It's pretty insane what's happening in the United States of America. 133 rivers are flooding in some way. 17 million people in middle America from Texas all the way up are at a flood watch right now. Towns have been completely turned into islands, isolated, cut off, without power. Power poles are flooded. Interstate lights are flooded. There is more rain on the way, and we're busy worrying about what James Comey has to lie about. Not that that's not important or anything. I'm just saying, let's think about this for a second. Right now, the climate catastrophe is happening in North America, in the United States of America, because this is what, spring? Who knows what this is? This is going to keep going. I don't even think this was predicted. But the water, the ground there is so water saturated. We have no idea what's going to come, right? Trees are going to be falling over. Power lines are going to be coming down. The long-lasting effects of what's going on, the displacement of these people, the rebuilding of homes that won't happen, the insurance companies that will go under because they can't even cover this shit. Yeah. Maybe we'll mobilize sooner than I thought. Maybe there is hope. It's just going to take a lot of devastation. That seems to be what the case is, right, Markus? With Germany, took a lot of devastation before Germany was like, hey, tired of this devastation. Morning.
Good morning, John, and good morning, America. And I hope that we can bring with our show a little sunshine in those rainy days. And yes, John, yeah, I think kind of, yes. 2 times defeated, bitterly defeated. Yes, I think Germany learned its lesson.
Yeah, well,
Back to you, John.
Back there. Thank you. And now on again, we're covering the Germany story. Why did Germany move on and evolve? Tired of getting their asses kicked. America currently getting its ass kicked by climate, an enemy we can't fight with missiles. What are we going to do? Should be interesting to see. What are you saying? I'm loving the shade sun's burning, though. What? I don't know what that means. The shade sun's burning. Explain that, Julie Love. I missed it. Whatever we got going on. Good morning, good day. Yes. Phil, more chaos faster. Tactic 101 of fascism. I don't know that this is fascism. Climate change. I mean, that's you can't put climate under a particular political bent. Really, it just is what it is. Mother Nature take care of itself. On to events and things going on. Look at the card. I'm going to do my best to look at the card more. I promise. Get it set up for you guys. What are you guys thinking of the whole Hillary thing? Her statement on blame. I think it's pretty funny.
It is.
Hey Bernice, how you doing? How you doing? The enemy is DC. I agree with that. Insurance companies don't insure those victims of sea level rise. No, probably not. The sun's frying, so I have to stay. Oh, where you are? Yeah. Geez, I bet it's nice and sunny there. We got fog and cloudiness. The card, though, was by J.B. Forbes. It's part of AP Wire. We've got, on May 8th, Jimmy Carter, who I'm a fan of for a number of reasons. One of the most peaceful presidents. We have probably the peaceful president we have. And he likes the same kind of clothes I like. Good fashion sense on Jimmy. He and Bernie Sanders, another man I highly respect, probably only two politicians right now, they are getting together at the Carter Center to talk about human rights, something we've lost a lot of in this country lately. Hillary is full of fill in the blank. Yes. I think she's upset she got shafted by events. Karma is a bitch, says John Warren. Yeah. Ozone layers depleted, hence the insane geoengineering. Yeah, I'll go along with that. While I believe geoengineering may be happening, I don't believe it's the cause of climate change, and I don't really believe it's at the forefront of our priorities of things we need to deal with. Kind of like saying the military-industrial complex. I agree it's there, and I know we got to do something about it. Not ready, Padawan. Not ready. All right? Anyway, if there's flooding near you, get used to it. There'll be a lot more. A lot more. And then a lot more. And then next year it's going to be even worse. Exponentially worse. And then worse. And then worse. Until you really can't live there anymore. And nobody wants to live there anymore. And then we're going to have 17 million displaced Americans. That should be cool. Wonder if they'll have health care. What do you think, Marcus? Want a hedge bet?
I doubt this.
No.
It's horror, absolute horror. And yes, we only can hope the rain stops. And yeah. But I think what should happen that the people wake up. They all must wake up, and I think maybe this makes them wake up. As horrible as it is. Maybe.
Maybe. Listen, it's not, it's like, I'm not trying to be vindictive. And I'm like, ha, your life's ruined, so much for your home. I mean, that's not, it's just, are you ready? Are you done? Are you ready to unify around this and save your lives? Are you ready to save your life? Because that's really what it comes down to. Sound like a interventionist. Are you ready to come change your life, save your life from climate change, and wake the fuck up? Come on with me. By the way, Benny Hinn, I just want to make this. You guys know who Benny Hinn is? Benny Hinn in the 80s, 90s was one of the best bullshit religion bullshit artist ever. He's one of those guys who pretend to pull chickens out of not chicken, but pretend like pull organs out of your body, and he'd use like chicken parts and whatnot. And he did that really massive, like put his hand on your head and you are healed and knock you away. He's going to jail. They caught him for fraud.
He was awesome.
What?
Oh, come on. he was awesome. We used a video of him once for a wrestling online show. It was a song "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," and it was his video doing all the healing stuff, and all the people were collapsing and falling down. It was hilarious. A great video.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Funny.
But this guy, a complete idiot.
Oh, that's awesome. That would bodies at the. I could see that with, but yeah, because that's what he did.
What? Wasn't it Steve Martin who made a parody out of him? There was a movie in the 90s, I think, where he played a preacher who was going for the money of the poor and suburban people,
was it Dirty Rotten Scoundrel?
No.
I'm sure he did.
No,
It was a long time ago.
Not Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
No. But I mean, he did. I mean, that's so. Anyway, Benny Hinn going away. Who spent money on Benny Hinn? Probably nobody in the audience here. That's going to be my guess. Probably nobody here. Nice to see him go away. Yet religions like his, still they pay no taxes. It's just, yeah. Well, I've got no kind words for religions today. Do you want to watch a video? Let's just watch the video from the Weather Channel on the flooding, so we have a visual understanding of just the kind of devastation we're talking about. Remember, we were really expecting this to happen in the equatorial regions. So I'm really excited because it's climate change. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. So we might as well sit back and watch it and be holy shitted about it. Just like, wow, that's cool. It's like, the hand of God, if you want to call it that, is coming down. Might as well see what it does. Prepare for it in your neighborhood if you can. Here's the Weather Channel. Oh, and we have Slacker. Hey, I wish I could keep Slacker running in the background while we did the show. I'd put it on Yacht Rock. That's what we'd listen to all the time. Just to piss off Marcus. No punk, ever. No, just kidding. Here.
Take a look at this flooding in Pocahontas, Arkansas. This is the Black River, which is well out of its banks. It's already surpassed the record crest by 10 feet, and it's going to continue to rise. There is a serious flooding issue happening right now through parts of the southern plains. This is an ongoing problem, and rain is not only happening today, but for the next couple of days. So we're going to see this continue, and we could be looking at a very dire situation with life-threatening flooding rain on the way over the next 48 hours. Here's a look at...
Yeah, we're not going to listen to that anymore. But there you go. Right? It's, I hope you've got a boat. I hope you're in that area. You got a boat. We know that some German guy is preparing that. Was it German or Holland? Holland dude was preparing for that.
Dutch. It was a Dutch guy.
Dutch guy, Holland guy, whatever. And we know there's the Tennessee's got an ark. Talk about arcs. We're gonna get to that story later, but it's kind of funny. So everybody look at it. You guys all know about the what is it called? The Ark Adventure? Is that what it's called in Tennessee? The idiocy boat that the guy made to talk about creationism, right? Well, he's probably going, I wasn't so stupid now, see, huh? God's here. Here's the flood. I've got a boat. Fuck you all. There was actually and I don't know how many animals he's going to get on the thing, or if he's even going to care about animals or what, but we'll see. You want to take this story, Marcus? This is in 2012, way before Arkman. Dutchman builds a massive ark to save the Netherlands from drowning.
And it is.
Go ahead.
It is supposed to swim. It is not only a decoration. It is a real ship, and is. If we got more photos, maybe, John, in the article, where we can see the inside of it.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Here we go.
Make it happen.
Look at that.
Look at this. Look at this.
It's got vending machines. You can sit down, hang out, wait out the flood.
Yeah, and it's. He invested a lot of time and a lot of money in it. Okay, he is a millionaire, but there are millionaires doing stupid things more stupid than this, I think.
Exactly. Here,
and maybe it might help some people because if the sea level rises, then goodbye Netherlands.
Yeah, right. And he can go wherever though. I mean, so this guy's got it. See, he's smart. He spent a lot of money, and they do say that they talk about it was a lot of resources. That's the only thing they complain about. Well, he made it. It's in use. They're doing something with it. Just a lot of resources, a lot of wood there to build it. But whatever. anybody's got a boat these days near water, pretty happy they got a boat, I'm guessing. Right? Houseboat time, says Jilly Love. Exactly. Exactly. It is very nice, John. It is. I'm like, I could, and it looks like an art. It's
a coffee bar.
It's a coffee bar. They just need to add the hash bar, and you got it. You're done, right? Which it's Dutch, so there's got to be weed.
There should be a weed room. Yeah, there should be a weed room.
There's a weed room. There is. And if we were on that boat dealing with a world global flood, we'd want weed. We'd want weed.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes. There wouldn't be much entertainment around, I think.
Party barge. Basically, yes. This is like Jabba the Hutt's barge. So you know what I mean? Not for any reason. Just that's what makes me think of like a nice floating party barge, like you said, just cruise around the world. Exactly. The dude is smart. Good for him, says Springfield. Has the price of land dropped in Netherlands yet? Phil says. That's asked. Good question. How is real estate around these places?
I don't know about the prices there, but I can imagine near the coast, the prices are dropping.
Yeah. And I imagine that in this area that's now being flooded consistently in Middle America, not that real estate was expensive there to begin with, but yeah, not good. Not good. Turn a cargo ship into a vertical aeroponic village and set sail to the South Pacific. I'm with that. I like that. I always want to go to South Pacific. Although the water, I think, is colder and less hospitable than it looks, and I hate that. I'm a wussy when I love the water. I love swimming. I'm a big swim fish. Love water. Love swimming in the ocean. But I like Caribbean ocean. Little waves, 73 degrees, high salt content, bath water. Basically, my idea. If you've ever been to the Caribbean, you've been lucky enough to get out there. That's what you got. Now, granted, all of those islands are going to be gone, but the water maybe still be warm. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Great place. The Love Boat 2017, says Jeffrey Pearson. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. And I could be like the Isaac of weed. Just sit behind a weed counter. Sell weed. That's what I'd be, like the Isaac of, because I couldn't do the bar, but I could definitely do the weed bar, right? That'd be great. Better stick your fingers in dikes to stop the floods. Bob's your uncle. Well, I mean, maybe. You may end up having to do that. I don't think it would be very effective. Fingers, gum. But yeah, I get your joke. Bad. Potty humor. Foul. Very bad on you, Bob's your uncle. We have, little children in this audience sometimes. Or listening. That's really their parents' fault. It really is. Except I didn't run the disclaimer this morning. Moving on. We were talking about Stephen Colbert, right, Marcus?
We are talking about Stephen Colbert, yeah, right?
We were. You saw what he did, right? We were earlier. We're talking about Colbert.
Yes, and what I think about him. I think Colbert showed his colors during the primaries. In my opinion, he became a hillbot, and this makes him weak. What morals concern, bashing Trump and blaming Trump because it is cheap and everyone does it. But John, you go on and present your point.
All right. So yeah, you guys have seen the uproar over Colbert and the whole fire Colbert thing going on right now, which really isn't important at all. It's just a big dumb distraction. Right? Stephen Colbert decided to toss some insults Trump's way because Trump insulted CBS, which happens to be his parent company. So we're not going to lose sight of the fact that really what's going on here is a ratings ploy. All right, let's not kid ourselves. Stephen Colbert is a television personality, no different than Johnny Carson or Bob Barker was, right? And here he is, and he's got to make money, and he's got to gain ratings, and his personal opinions are somewhat infused into the narrative that the corporate ownership of this show and channel want. All right. So, yes, Colbert did a ratings ploy to call out Trump for being a dick And he did a nice job, a nice monologue that insulted him. And the reason they did this primarily from a corporate point of view was so that they could gain viewers back that they lost when Colbert left the Comedy Central and went and became way too corporate, and his message became way too shill, and a lot of people told him to go fuck off. And he said, wow, I really need to improve my ratings if I'm going to stay here on the Letterman show, the Colbert show, so I'd better do something about it. That we all get. On the other hand, there is just the sheer fact that if we know that it's a corporate message infused with a little bit of perspective, what effect does it have? Because it still has an effect. You can intellectualize it all you want. You can pick it apart. You can complain about it for one thing or another. But the truth is, it has an effect in the overall resistance. Was it a good effect or a bad effect? Let's look at it that way, okay? Because we're at war. And if Colbert did something to help the war, great. But let's not analyze it and pick it apart. We don't have time for that shit. We just don't. All right. So, what do you guys think? That's where I'm at on the Colbert. Marcus, thoughts, feelings?
Yes, and this is why I gave over to you, because at this point I agree, because it has influence on the public opinion, and if you can see that on TV in America, a guy like Colbert goes after Trump like he did, then it has impact, of course, because it is not known there, I guess, in this kind, just as Colbert did it. And but from my perspective, if you want to analyze it, and I like to analyze stuff, then I only can say that that it was a lame performance. It has impact, but it was a lame performance because everyone should know that Trump is an idiot. No?
Agreed. I'm with you there. Okay, great Colbert for getting some tougher words and, promoting the message that Trump is bad. A little late to the party, okay, and you're still a corporate shill. I don't know what happened. You'll never be a Jon Stewart who's actually out there doing things, okay? That's the difference. I think, I look back and I go, why did Jon Stewart leave TV? Why did Jon Stewart? So he could actually do something. So he went out and actually did something, right? Let's just say that. Anyway, the corporate media message is the narrative is always going to be something that we're going to have to take with a grain of salt. I guess I'll go that way, right? The question is it being useful right now? Right? How do we use it to our advantage? Can we use it to our advantage? Right? John, yes, I meant to watch this morning but got busy, says Melissa H. What are you guys talking about that? Colbert used to be edgy. He had his wings clipped. He chose. He made that choice, right? I'm going to go somewhere. He knew damn well what was going to happen. He goes to big old network.
Yes.
Right?
And to say it with Trump, he's a smart cookie.
Right.
So he knows where he went.
Right. And Jeffrey Pearson says attacking 45 is a trendy distraction for many. Yes, it is. It is, but I believe it actually helps unify the American people, anger them, right, more. We need that. Right? Because some people are going to be more shocked by things than others. I don't really care what came out of Colbert's mouth. That's light, right? Other people are drastically offended, right? We have to realize that America is this massive, crazy demographic. We don't, it's a lot of weird stuff. Colbert on a short leash, yeah. Just be aware of societal biorhythms. Humans are being assaulted by DC fascism. Keep your head up. Yeah, what do you get? Ginny says, no, he isn't a Jon Stewart, but he has been on him since the election. I'm sure didn't like how he was with Clinton. No, I didn't either. Colbert was taking it. He was doing what the masters wanted him to do so he could get his paycheck. That was so obvious.
Yes.
Patronizing to Bernie. I got my Feel the Burn cup turned around. Right?
Yeah.
But he was a shill for Hill, and he really was disrespectful, in my opinion, along with John Oliver, to Jill Stein. And so I just in that sense really pissed me off. All right. Anyway, there's just to say, like, I just want to explain what goes on, whether the corporate piece of that is in there or not. Let's just take any person who like me, Marcus, any people that do a show, okay? I do more than just get on here every day blindly and just decide to talk about some pages I loaded up. I spend the rest of my day after the show figuring out what I'm going to do for the next show, okay? And I take a lot of time to think about what I'm saying. How should I say it? Do I need to be more edgy, less edgy? Am I drawing people in? Am I pushing them away? Am I staying true to my message? Am I being a dick? All of these things, believe it or not, come into play even, and still my goal is to be, I am honest. But that honesty comes with a production level, because I can't just get up here and go, bleh. You can't do that, right? So for every level of on-camera person, there will be an amount of production, an amount of staging, an amount of preparation in wording, in narrative, and so you could say that everything you see by anyone who is on camera, including me right now, because I did practice this before we went live, is a prepared, disingenuous script. No different than what comes out of MSM. So I want everybody, once you put that in context, right? I can't do anything about that, because in order for us to have this conversation, it has to be organized in some way. The revolution will not be organized. It's up to us. That's the message. I can't remember who they were, dropped that statement in a comment thread with me. Incredible. They were asking about the Bernie Sanders show. So I might as well just bring this up right now. I have no idea when the next Bernie Sanders show will be, because there doesn't seem to be a regular schedule, not in time or day. I don't think. All right. If there was one, I would be on top of it, and we would have that planned out for months, because I love restreaming that, because they can only stream it on Facebook, because Facebook restricts distribution. You cannot multi-point stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So we pick it up and push it to YouTube for them, which is bypassing Facebook's rules, and really don't give a fuck about that, do we? This is a revolution. So anyway, if I knew when it was going to happen, that would be great. I have no idea when it was going to happen. And I said, I wish it did. And he wrote back, yeah, haha, LOL, Bernie 2016 TV, the revolution will not be organized. And that goes back to our unity message, right? We need to have a platform for the coalition of resistance. We need to write the bullet points, what we believe in, what we stand for. They have to be general, and we leave the specifics to the organization, but we all have to agree on it to show unity, that we are fighting together for the same issues, not a party, not a person, the same issues. Okay? I may draft one that every major independent network and entity will completely ignore, because I have nothing, no clout, nothing in this world. This political revolution, I am a speck that is ignored. This channel is a speck that is ignored. You and I, we have a great relationship. I love you all. It's wonderful. We're a speck that gets ignored. We're an outlier, a black sheep. So we can make the platform, but then it's going to be up to us to share it with the importanter people, the ones that are in face on mainstream, the ones that do get the airtime, the ones that do have the big organizations, the Democracy Nows, the TYTs, right? The Bernies, the Ninas. We're going to have to put this in their place. You guys need to sign this document, this platform coalition, show that you can unify instead of telling us that we have to be unified. Show us what it looks like. We'll give you the framework. Sign the document, right? Anyway, going off. Marcus, how you doing?
I'm fine. Yes, and completely agree. You're absolutely right. We have to gather behind an agenda, and it doesn't matter which formation, which group you belong to. It's the agenda that counts.
Yeah, it is. Our nation right now is under attack. You don't hear mainstream media talking about what's going on, right? They're not treating it like it's a massive climate catastrophe. They should. 133 rivers, flooding, 17 million people. Come on. That's why isn't the federal government mobilizing National Guard right now? Because Trump's busy tweeting. Why? Right. Here's. I just got to say, this is the best response to the whole fire Colbert. This is George Takei for the win. Now the little right-wing mushrooms want to fire Colbert because he made fun of the Troll King. Wah. It'll go as well as boycott Hamilton. Remember that? They're trying to fire Colbert. Remember boycott Hamilton, their last hashtag attack from the Trumpsters? And my favorite was actually boycott Hawaii. And everybody was, please do. Please, stay away from Hawaii. Please. And stay away from the Colbert Report. But it just got a massive ratings boost. There's no way CBS is firing him now. Mission accomplished. And the more you push this, mission accomplished or more. So, you know. And that, I don't even know what that does for the revolution. Further the divide between us. And maybe that's what we need, is to separate the wheat from the chaff. Separate the people who actually understand what's going on here from the ignorant. I don't know. This now, really quick. I had it on the card, but really quick, everybody. I know there's a big stink right now. Everybody's pushing out this story, talking about the fact that the DNC argues it had the right to rig the 2016 Democratic primary. There's all sorts of stuff going on here. Jordan Chariton's all upset because he says he broke the story with Truth Against the Machine or whatever, and that they're not getting credit for it. And RT picked up the story, and other people picked up the story because of what it was a DNC lawyer who said, well, we don't really have to abide by anything. We do what we want. We knew this already at least a year ago, if not longer, when the great Scott Galindez said, the DNC is a private party, they can do what they want. Everybody remember that? Do you remember that, Markus?
Yep. Yes, and there was a lot of trouble in chat, if I remember right.
A lot of people did not like that response. It's not a private party. It belongs to... It is, everybody.
It is.
It's a private party that can do whatever the fuck it wants. It can change the rules when it wants, because we don't own it at the top level. We don't control it there. We have to. Our goal is to take control of it, but we don't have control of it at that level. And they can do what they want. It's why we can do what we want at the state level or at the local level with the Democratic Party. We could change the name of it at the local level. We could call it the Penis First Party. We could do whatever we can. That's because it's a private party. It doesn't have to be bound by any constitutional laws. It's not bound by any rules of anything. So you bet it can do that. You bet it can rig the primary. You bet it can choose who wins in a back room with cigars and booze. You bet it can. Stop fucking whining about it and take it over. Shut up already. H.A. Goodman, you've got nothing left to sell, man. Go find a new story, for fuck's sake. Really, sorry. I know everybody's going to get mad at me for saying that, but Jesus, you're beating a dead horse named Hillary. You really are.
Yes, I have to agree to this. I'm a big fan. I'm a very big fan of H.A. Goodman. But I think really, yes, it is. This thing is worn out now, and Hillary is not coming back. And I think it was one of the last signs we heard from her yesterday or today when she said that she's responsible for the loss, but with the big but. There were influencing facts like Russia, like the emails, like Trump, like being against women and stuff. And in the end, it closes that she is not taking over responsibility at all. And let it be gone. Hillary is done forever. Okay.
Yes. Wow, you guys. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments. Yeah, I mean, Markus is right. We need to be done with this. But you guys are back at me. John, you shut up and Dem exit. All right. It's a private party. It's not bound by laws because the people that want the party to succeed control those laws. Guys, corrupt government. It's just, come on, you know. And look, in the end, what I'm really saying is you're picking the wrong battle. You're picking. We can't fight that battle yet. There's no reason to go there yet. We need to fight the battle at home. Okay? We can't take on the Death Star. We're still dealing with a couple TIE fighters. We really. I'm really trying to put it in context. Hang on, this thing's falling apart here. Does that context work? Springfield Progressive, I agree with you on HH. Listen, the reason I say that is because I watch these guys talk about the same bullshit stories and bring out a new headline. Ooh, look at this. Like the fucking Inquirer of the internet. And get a zillion views. I'm like, come on, people. Do you really need to go eat that cold meal again? It's old. It's stale. No one gives a fuck. Let's, And here we sit with a couple, 300-400 views. By the way, high expanding family. I'm not to complain about that. Right. But compared to 400,000 for boobs and bong hits or something else, it's like, I just, Goodbye then? Are you going, Grandma Christine? Bye. Bernie wasn't the only one who got cheated. 18 million was donated, an average of $27. But we knew this. We learned over time that you can't trust a corrupt entity when you have no control over that entity. That's what we learned. We learned the hard way. We learned by donating money, right? We learned that we donate money to individual candidates. We learned that we make sure the money's going into a place we trust, right? We learned so much about how our government dysfunctions and what we need to do to be careful and fix it. We learned. That was our big learning. America got smacked. We got smacked. And it's embarrassing, and it does start at the bottom, Ellis. It starts at the bottom. All right, I got smacked too. You guys remember how many times I sat there crushing my head, just going, why? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Because that's the way it works in a corrupt government. That's why. That's what happens. Shut up and work to fix it. Right? It took me, 2 years almost to decide, oh, yeah, I should take a role in my government so I can change the things I want in my government. Right? There is a Bernie TV. There's a bunch of Bernie TVs. I'm not even sure which one is an actual real one. There is a Bernie TV, but most of these are just set up by other people running reruns like ours. So, all right, we looked at that. Trump said the government needs a good shutdown. You guys are all on that story. My card says I agree with 45 on this one, just not how and why. I believe our government needs to be shut down for a moment. Not paying people, just the executive branch, the legislative branch, they need to just stop. No more deals. No more negotiating. No more discussing. To just stop. Because the American people are going to form an independent coalition. We're going to come and investigate everything. We're going to look behind every corner, every door. We're going to look in every filing cabinet. Because you know what? It all belongs to us. That's my ultimate. And I agree. Government, you're going to stop for a month. No new shit. While we come in and see what the hell's going on. Clean out the dust. Smudge the place. That's what I want to do. We can do that when we take over our states. We take over the states. We can look under every corner. We can find all the rats. We can clean all the shit. That's what we get to do. We get to investigate the corruption, find out where it lives, weed it out, and destroy it. Once we take over power. I want to shut down the corrupt government that we have. That's what I want to do. Third party Steve Collins. Create the unity. Show Bernie it can exist. And he'll go where it is. But we don't have that. We don't have that. Why not just take over the Dem Party and call it something new? We can do that. We can change the name of it completely. That's all right. It's a private party. I know, Governor, you're saying, that's what I'm saying. We're not shutting off Social Security checks. I guess what I'm talking about is shutting down the executive and legislative branches. Maybe that make more sense. Shut them down. Congress doesn't do a thing, not that they do anything anyway, but shut up, sit down. We're investigating all of you right now. That's what I'm talking about. That's, it's a dream. It's just a fantasy. I'm just making shit up. May 1st, everybody, was May Day, right? Workers' Day. And there was lots of protests and things. Portland, Oregon. I don't know what the deal is with Portland. Portlandia, Rainbow Land, seems to be very violent. They've got the black bloc morons running around. Protests were shut down because they were getting violent, throwing firecrackers at cops and shit. And you guys know how I feel about cops, but violent protest is stupid. And anybody in Portland who's engaged in violent protest is a dumbass. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. Why don't you run for office? Why don't you run for office and then violently explain with your words how you want to change government? There. Right? Use all the expletives you want. How you're going to crush the corruption in government and blow it up and rip it to pieces as you write good legislation to change things. Do that, black blockers. You're very creative with your destruction. How about with your creation?
I doubt that would work, John, because the black blocs, some, or I think the majority of them are anarchists, and they don't want any government, so they wouldn't join it, It is only the excess of violence,
Right. It is.
There's no real political message behind it. It is only the lust for destruction.
It is. Well, it's outrage.
And in Germany, we have a long tradition of so-called May 1st parties, especially in Berlin. In Berlin, over the 80s and 90s, it was a kind of civil war between, unweaponed, of course, between police and the ultra left and the black blocs.
You had black blocs over there in Germany. Is that where that started?
Yeah, long tradition.
Wow. And so you guys had violence. Was there a lot of violence? Were the cops?
There was violence. Yes, with stones, with everything which could be grabbed, fireworks. Also, what you said. It is an old thing in at the first May parties in Berlin. Not anymore. It changed in the last decade, but in the past it was it was very violent there.
Well, we're on our way. I mean, that's what we're doing here. To me, it comes down to instigation, right? Don't be the instigator of the violence. If you're defending yourself against asshole cops, you're defending yourself against asshole cops, right? The reason Standing Rock was successful, even though I hated watching every minute of it, was because they didn't fight back. Something I could not do. It's just unbelievable, right? I mean, in other words, they didn't physically attack the shithead cops that were physically attacking them. And they had every right to do so. My God, if I were in that situation, I would have run across the barrier and started killing cops. Swear to God, because I couldn't take it. That's why I wasn't there. I'm not trained in that kind of civil disobedience. That's like the most extreme civil disobedience you could possibly imagine. Let them abuse you. Let them beat them. Let them shoot you. Let them torture you. You can't do anything back. Unfucking believable amount of courage that it takes to do something like that. Right? That's why it was effective. Morton County Sheriff's Department and every shit-stained cop that was involved looks like a piece of shit and will forever, because the footage shows that they were the assholes. They were the instigators. They were the violent ones. There is no footage showing Standing Rock people, water protectors, being violent. Whereas in the case of Portland, that's, the police were the ones reacting. We look like the dickheads. And the media loves to report it. If you notice, the media has no problem reporting when citizens are dicks. They certainly like to cover it up when cops are dicks. See how there's a difference there? More people that watch MSM thought the Standing Rock people were violent than knew what Morton County and everybody was doing. On the internet, it was reversed. And it's still that way today. That's what's frightening. Still that way today. Right? I hate it. I can't stand it. You guys know what I think about it. You know what I think about people in power, CEOs, and where I think justice should be delivered there. You know my thoughts on that. Okay? So I'm just telling you, it doesn't matter what I think. I'm also practical. I know what works. If you're going to protest, you have to be peaceful. For as much as protest is inefficient these days, it is useless when it becomes violent. Useless. So, and Michael White knows this, right? That's why he wrote the book about it. We hire killers to police us in the USA. Oh, I know, Phil. I know. Look, the cops. Listen, I'm not even going to talk about the cops. I know. The 14-year-old boy that was shot by the cop who lied about it, and then the police department lied about it until the footage was there, and they went, oh, shit. Oh, look what he did. Alton Sterling, no charges. There's going to be some rioting going on there. And what can I say? What do you say? I mean, when your outrage is that much, what do you do when there's an injustice to that extent? Those cops should be hung. That's my personal view. I think if a few cops got hung for what they did, like we did in Nuremberg, you know, again, my personal view, it's violence. How do we rise above that? How do you find restorative justice for a cop who murdered a 14-year-old boy? Looks like he was literally just doing target practice. Target practice, lies about it. And that cop gets to live? That's where it ends for me. That's where it ends for me right there. That's where the cognitive dissonance goes, nope. I haven't found a way to rise above that yet. I haven't. Right? My anger and outrage towards law enforcement is so much. I've already told you, I will never be handcuffed again. Good luck. And this isn't just from what's happening now. This is from my own past experiences and the abuse that I've suffered, which is nothing, understandably, compared to what we witness every day. 82, I think it's 82, maybe it's up to 86 black people killed by cops this year. This year. How long do you think it's going to be before communities just rise up with their own weapons, start shooting cops? I'm just asking. Cops are asking for it. They are. Because most of America does not trust the police. I don't. It's frightening. It's scary. And the police know this. The police in our nation have been infiltrated by white supremacists. That's not me sounding like Alex Jones. That's an FBI report that nobody's talking about except The Intercept. You got the scariest group of people on planet Earth in control of our law enforcement, being protected by the judiciary. It's frightening. It's frightening, the country I live in right now. I don't want to pay for them in jail, Springfield Progressive. I want them doing hard labor. I want them crunching rocks. I want them doing something that sucks. They don't get to live in jail and get good health care and get good fucking food and exercise. No. No. There needs to be some suffering. There needs to be some equation there. There needs to be something in return to society. Something. Those cops got to give back and give because of what they took. There needs to be a lesson made. It's just unfucking believable. And there was another post about a cop another kid, for no apparent reason, just chokeholds him, slams him to the ground. Nobody even knows why. Kid wasn't even doing anything. Cops just like, oh, you're a kid, you're black, chokehold you, throw you to the ground. They're out of fucking control. They have weapons. They think they can do whatever they please, and they're protected. Unfucking believable. That's a powder keg in this country that will go off. At some point, a lot of cops are going to get shot in a mass skirmish against a militia of people who are tired of watching their kids die. I'm not going to support the violence. You get what's coming, though. You get what's coming. You reap what you sow, cops. You sow violence in your community, you get what you sow. That's how it works. It's not a threat. I'm just speaking truth. Go look at the history books. Yeah. Stop looking at Trump's tweets. Go look at the history books, cops. That's where it goes. We're going to watch Amy Goodman talk about immigrant workers because this May Day was very different in this country. This May Day, we had immigrant workers, undocumented, right? Undocumented human beings, undocumented. Let's put the undocumented in air quotes, okay? Bullshit term in our country. They were standing up on stage, could have been arrested right there, standing on stage, defending the food they cook for you, right? For us. I'm absolutely certain that the Mexican food that I get, which is unfucking believable, best green chili burrito I've ever had in my life, is probably a family of undocumented, and I'm so glad they're here in Oregon. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. I'm so glad they're somewhere in a town where I believe they're protected. I hope they're protected. I really do. I really do. The brutality at Standing Rock was, how could any American stand by and let this happen? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How could any good cop? How could any good cop with a conscience watch bad cops do that and stand by and let their name be soiled? That's what gave me no hope for cops, is when there were no good cops that went out to show up in uniform and stand against the bad cops. That tells me where cops stand in this country. You know? And I get it. Police forces were like, we're not going to go, but we're not going to go because of public pressure. Where were the good cops? There were vets. Vets went out, and a lot of regular citizens. Cops, they protect their own. They protect their own. 74 here, Melissa. I hope they stay. Hey, everybody. We had a terrible opening, and now we're talking about some really serious stuff, which is what we do. But the dick jokes have been minimal today, Marcus. What do you think?
Do you blame me for this?
I never said that. I wouldn't blame you for lack of dick jokes.
It sounded like this, man.
No. No, totally not your fault. Totally not your fault.
Okay, yeah. No dick jokes prepared for the show.
No. But I really should have. I'll have to look at what there might be something at the end. All right, I wanted to watch this Amy Goodman piece because it is about May Day, and I had nothing really good to talk about it. And the reason it's important to hear what she has to say, which, wow, it's a terrible freeze face on her for the opening shot of this. Here, look, everybody, you got to just see. I love Amy Goodman, love her to death, but that is a bad freeze shot. Anyway, we're going to watch this, and then I'm going to show you something even more horrifying going on in our prison system with undocumented children. Right? They passed a law to allow prisons to detain them longer just so they can make a few more bucks off the state. That's us. That's America. Here's Amy Goodman.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Around the world, millions of workers took to the streets Monday for May Day, also known as International Workers' Day. In the United States, the marches were led by immigrant workers and their allies, drawing comparisons to the massive May Day 2006, when millions of immigrants protested nationwide. A series of protests were held in New York. The first of the day's protest was a picket line outside B&H Photo Video, the nation's largest independent retailer of photo and video equipment. Hundreds of B&H workers staged a one-day strike to oppose a plan to relocate more than 300 jobs from Brooklyn to New Jersey. Democracy Now!'s Tarina Nadura, John Hamilton, and Andre Lewis filed this report.
It's going down. New York is a union town.
My name is Armando Giron, and I've been working at B&H for 9 years now. We are very concerned because the company wants to move to New Jersey, and the majority of my coworkers and I live here in New York, in the Bronx, Queens, and in Brooklyn.
Aquí en el Bronx, Queens, y en Brooklyn.
We are fighting here to stop the company from moving, because if they do so, we, more than 300 employees, will be put out on the streets. They are planning to move to a place far, far away, where there's no transportation.
I'm Hector Figueroa, president of Local 32BJ. Here is the thing, today is May 1st, and we all know that immigrant rights are worker rights. No more deportations, no more breaking families. We are here and we are going to stay. I'm going to fight because we work really hard. We feed the American public. We take care of their children. We clean the offices. We tend to the seniors. We are the ones who are making America strong, and we are here to stay.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down!
My name is Jimena Bustamante. I am from the International Women's Strike. We are striking to reclaim the rights of all workers, but in particular of immigrant workers. And we are striking to make very clear that this city moves because of immigrant labor, and particularly because of women's immigrant labor. We believe that it's very necessary to show everyone that without their labor, this city cannot move.
So when we march today, we march and we protect one another, we keep one another safe. This is not a permitted march.
Mi nombre es Angelina Cáceres y yo trabajo para la cooperativa de Golden Steps.
My name is Angelina Cáceres, and I work at the Golden Steps Cooperative, a group of immigrant women trying to make their businesses thrive and at the same time trying to help the country's economy.
De este país. Bueno, como dije, nosotros somos un grupo.
We are a group of women fighting to make a living, to get our families moving forward.
My name is Agunda Okeo. I'm a native New Yorker, originally from Kenya. I'm an immigrant. I'm an activist and organizer, and I'm coming here with my friends who we co-founded a campaign called Hater Free NYC. It's a localized creative action boycott targeting the current Trump administration, including the cabinet. Think of this as a day where people can come together and recognize the history of America in a more honest sense, and the fact that workers' rights are in everyone's interest.
All right, NYU, yeah!
Bueno, mi nombre es Alejandro Olivares y mi organización es Brand Workers.
My name is Alejandro Olivares. My organization is Brand Workers. I want to send a message to Donald Trump. We come here to work. We are good people and not criminals, as he says.
La verdad, yo pienso que no es cierto y
I think that is not true, and this country is a country of immigrants, built by immigrants with their work and sacrifice. I hope that his administration makes changes because the current situation is unfair for us immigrants.
Ojalá y cambie su administración porque es injusto para nosotros, todos los inmigrantes.
My name is Ann Tran. I teach at Baruch College. I'm here at May Day supporting CUNY adjuncts. Adjuncts are part-time workers in the CUNY system. We're faculty who teach. It actually could be full-time teaching, but we get paid as part-time workers. And so we are severely exploited in terms of not being able to know whether we'll have a job from semester to semester. And you can see how impossible it is to plan, paying your rent if you don't know whether you're going to have a job the next semester.
My name is Nasheen. I'm here with Drum. My message to Donald Trump. Well, you have had privilege your whole life. You've had so many privileges that we don't have, and you judge us from such a high horse. First of all, get off your high horse. Talk to me standing at the same level as me. See where I've been. Walk a mile in my shoes. And then you can tell me what to do. Then you can tell me where my home is, because this is my home and you're not taking me out of here.
Voices from the May Day protests in New York. Special thanks to Democracy Now!'s Tarina Nadura, John Hamilton, Andre Lewis, Ariel Boone, Ruben Gomez-Garcia.
That was fantastic. Hey. That's, hang on. Sorry, guys. Got the volume all messed up here. There we go. I wasn't ready for that to end. I was paying attention because that woman was great.
Here in North Carolina.
There. That couple things there. That girl at the end was fantastic. She should run for office. Right? I just here's what I think my new statement is. Deport racists, elect immigrants. I think we need to put as many immigrants in office as we possibly can so that we can change the perspective at every level. and eventually at the executive level. But that was just, how could you imagine having to defend your right to be a human being? To defend that I'm here to work, I'm here to live like everybody else, assholes. I can't even imagine that. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's not only deporting criminals, right? They've found that more than 50% of the people who have been arrested by ICE had no criminal record or misdemeanors only, traffic tickets, basically. And now they're just arresting, they have no warrants, they're just arresting people. They're just busting into buildings going, oh, you're brown, come with us. Like, I'm an American citizen, bullshit, you're brown. That's what ICE is doing. It's no different than Nazi Germany. No different than a Gestapo that runs around and picks whoever they want, pulls them out and says, you're coming with me. For whatever bullshit reason we've got. That's what ICE does. That's ICE. I think of them as the terrorist, the most dangerous terrorist organization in America right now, outside of local law enforcement. And you have to look at them that way too. In the collapse of our democracy, in the collapse of our nation, as the natural catastrophes affect, and I hate to say karma, but there's a lot of racist people flooding right now, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I didn't say anything else, just karma. All right, I said karma. Here's the other thing I was talking about. Private Prison Corporation wrote Texas bill extending how long immigrant children could be detained so that they could charge the state more money. Yeah, Markus, what would happen in Germany? Can I even ask? It's horrendous. That's horrendous. That's beyond a criminal. Beyond a criminal. Thank you, Intercept. All right. But could you imagine what would happen in Germany if this?
I'm already lacking the imagination of thinking of private prisons in Germany. There it starts and there it ends.
Yeah.
And the other thing is completely goes completely over my mind. You know, earlier in chat before we started the show, I said that I can get what's going on with my intellect in America, but I cannot understand it with my whole with being a human being. You know, I cannot understand what's going on there. And I put the small example of what is possible in Germany, that every child in Germany has the right by law to attend the kindergarten. And then yesterday we got the message that 45 is cutting the budget for healthy school food. And you know, this is only a little puzzle in a big fucking mess, you know. And what John is talking about, the private prisons, and that they are writing bills to say how long they can detain children. Are they fucking insane?
Yes. Yes.
This is the only thing which comes in my mind. Are they fucking insane?
They're definitely psychotic. I mean, that's a sociopath would be thinking it's a good idea to detain children for profit. You know. Just out of curiosity, in your school's kindergarten, which I was lucky enough in the 70s to be able to attend kindergarten, German word right there, kindergarten. We use that in America, by the way.
It is a German word. John.
It's
a I think it's a German invention.
I believe so. Education for young kids, a German invention. Go figure. Do they feed your kids, or are they like, you know, you're lucky enough to go to school, fuck you on the food, or do you guys feed your kids in school too?
During my school time, it was not like this, but in the past 10 years, 10, 15 years, it changed, and more and more schools are offering lessons for the whole day, and this includes also a school meal.
Oh, wait a minute. So was your school different where you would come home and eat, so there really wasn't a conflict, or was it different?
No. There was a conflict because when I was in school, it ended about 2 p.m.
Oh, so you just go home and eat late lunch.
Then we went home and ate there. You know.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay. It's different from...
And today it can last to 4 or 5 o'clock, but there are big breaks between, and of course a lunch break. Okay.
In other words, they did think about food and your need for it within your education. All right, I just want to...
Yes.
Okay. Unlike what we do here, which is, if you're lucky enough to go to a school, don't even ask for food, okay? Because if you don't have money, I guess you go hungry. That's just how we feel about kids today in the United States. Prisons equal slave labor camps. Yes, they do. Yes, please share. If you really think anybody would want to watch this with us, this very irreverent look at the rawness of life, yeah. I'd love to expand the audience. That'd be fun. Bring in more people. We are expanding. Audience is expanding. Like more than 400 people watch on a regular basis now. So hi, all of you. It's like huge. It's huge. Hi.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for dropping by. Just know that we push Patreon, patreon.com/John Ellis or patreon.com/Uphill Media. Both funds go the same thing because YouTube is assholes and basically cut out money from anybody who talks about politics or anything that could even be considered advertiser unfriendly, right? Which most of us talking about politics or anything going on in the world today is considered advertiser unfriendly. So nobody makes any money and they slash revenue by 90%. So we encourage people to donate to Patreon. And I encourage people to donate to big entities first because those entities are the best, most capable of expanding resources. And we need to bring all of our resources under one umbrella. We have to unify. It's not about unifying under a party. It's unifying under a set of issues. The coalition of the resistance. We need to put that together. I'm just going to keep pushing that message. All right? We do live in an American gulag. Yes, we do, Phil. We do. It's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. Gay conversion therapy ban survives as Supreme Court rejects appeal. That's good. Just wanted to run that by you guys. Robert Oliver and Mark. The Supreme Court let stand a California law that bans licensed therapists from working with children to change their sexual orientation from gay to straight, rejecting an appeal. First of all, how could therapists, licensed therapists, working with kids to change their sexual orientation? And somebody wanted to, there's a therapist fucked up enough in the head to want to challenge that ban? Put him in jail. That right there should just be, oh, there's a problem with you. Jail time. That's, I don't even understand this. People who engage in conversion therapy of any sense, and quite frankly, religion isn't gay conversion therapy, but it's definitely distortion of reality. It's definitely manipulation. Religion is vile in my mind. And there's a lot of priests who's probably in jail, not just for pedophilia, but for, pushing a narrative of utter bullshit and scaring the fuck out of people. Let's just go that way. I'm not a fan of Christianity or Islam. Let's just pick those two of my least favorite bullshit organizations of all time. Here's the thing. Rejecting an appeal that said the measure violates religious rights. Your religion has no fucking rights in our governmental systems, and your religion has no rights fucking with kids' heads. Get your goddamn archaic, knuckle-dragging religion out of my fucking country, out of my government, out of my schools, out of the earth. We are ready to evolve. At least a very small portion of us. We're tired of watching idiots preach about non-existent entities in an effort to control others. I hate religion. Fucking hate religion with a passion. I know this is going to get us a lot more followers. And here's another one. Wyoming. Here's another one with the. This is just in the homophobia. I love this. Some Wyoming asshole. Wyoming took its reputation as the equality state to heart this weekend when residents responded to a senator's tone-deaf assessment of the LGBTQ community in a truly epic way. During an April 25th visit to Grable High School and Middle School in Grable, Wyoming, Senator Mike Enzi, Wyoming, was asked about his efforts to protect the state's queer residents, noting that the state needed civility above anything else. The senator appeared to suggest that those who identify as LGBTQ face discrimination only if they're too open about it. We always say that in Wyoming you can just be about anything you want to be as long as you don't push it in somebody's face, he said. I know a guy who wears a tutu and goes into bars on Friday night, and it always surprised me that he gets into fights. And is always surprised that he gets into fights. Well, he kind of asked for it. Really? Gay guy goes into a... First of all, I don't believe his story. I think he's full of shit. But the fact that you wear what you want, go into a place and you... unbelievable asshole. So here, the cool thing about this, let's see if we got pictures. Here's the residents of this area, and now all over Wyoming apparently, are just showing up in bars wearing tutus, going all over the place wearing tutus. It's just in show of support, right? There you go. There's the best right there.
Yeah.
Bunch of people lined up at a bar wearing tutus. That's a great non-violent show of community unity, right? Unity around an issue, right there. Didn't involve party affiliation. That's unity. That's the kind of unity I'm talking about. You guys start getting into picking when you guys, how can you unify with the Democratic Party? I'm not unifying with the Democratic Party. I'm unifying around issues. If members of the Democratic Party want to sign on to that coalition, great. Right? Unify around the issues. Right? And here's the big one. Everybody talks about money. How do you unify with people in the Dem Party when you're dealing with money? Here's my wording for how we put money in politics, how we define how we feel about money in politics in our coalition platform. We agree that money should not control politics, because it is absolutely idiotic to say we agree that money can't be in politics, because right now we function in a capitalist society where you absolutely need money to do things in politics. I'm sorry. Whether it's crowdfunded by 1 billion of us, or it comes from George Soros, who apparently funds everybody and everything in 2 completely counterintuitive initiatives. He fights himself. I don't know why, apparently, with all the things you say he funds. That's what we have to do, right? The check and balance comes in individual organizations. The check and balance comes at the end of the day with who we elect, right? And those that we elect, if they are the ones that make a choice to put money before people, then we know we made a bad choice and we remove that person, or we put pressure on that person to change. But we stop picking at the parties. We stop picking I won't be a member of our revolution because they do this, or I won't be a member of this because of this, and I can't work with these people because of this. Would you rather die sooner? Because that's your option. 17 million people, flood watch, 133 rivers flooding, nation falling apart, run by a clown with a gang of thugs, and you want to bitch at each other's individual little things? Dumb. I told you that Flint put 8,000 people on notice. We're going to pass by that. A woman is on trial for laughing during a congressional hearing. This is funny, but not. This is funny, but not. This is where we're headed with. This is because she laughed at Jeff Sessions. I just want to, before we talk about this, I want to back up. We should be able to laugh at Jeff, call him names, tell him to go fuck himself, flip him the finger, because Jeff is a public, say it with me, servant. Jeff works for us. And he's in the public light, which means Jeff takes shit, whether he wants to or not. Welcome to your job, Jeff. But a rookie Capitol Police cop was offended because he thought this activist was laughing at Jeff on purpose, and he arrested her. So now she faces charges, which for some reason there are actually charges that can be pressed. I didn't even realize this. The U.S. Capitol Police officer who decided to arrest an activist because she briefly laughed during Attorney Jeff Sessions' confirmation hearing. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Here's a guy that believes in gay conversion therapy. She chuckled at him while he was getting elected or sworn in, and she's going to prison, or she's going to go on trial? She's 61 years old. It's unfucking believable that would even happen. That's a gross abuse of power. Just another cop I dislike. She was laughing when he was Sessions. They said when he said he was going to administer his judicial powers equally and unbiased. I'd laugh too. You know, unbelievable. This one's a weird article, guys. I didn't know this is Common Dreams, but there's a lot of interesting things in here about tax code. I'm not going to go through them all, but you guys should read this. It's about what the upper crust gets, and if you think that they pay more taxes, they don't. If you think that they don't get all the same entitlements because they're rich, that's bullshit. They actually get to utilize more entitlements than poor people. Of course, we all know this, but that's a really good list. So if you want to share that list with people who think differently, it's a really good one. You can find all the details in there. There are wondrous tax breaks that they benefit from. This one is my favorite, though. I did want to point this one out. The mortgage interest deduction, hold on, for second homes, which could be a yacht. All right? So I just want you to understand that. You bought a first home. Now you can afford a second one. And there's a mortgage interest deduction, and you can apply that to your yacht. Isn't that great? In the meantime, in America, so when you hear a rich person complain, tell them to go fuck themselves. Over and over again. Over and over and over again. Just, yeah. You guys ready for a break? Talk about climate. Talk about some, maybe like one good thing. I have like one good thing, Marcus.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Ready for one good thing?
Yep.
Here it is. The city of Atlanta becomes the 27th city to commit to 100% renewables.
Yay!
Atlanta City Council unanimously approved a measure Monday establishing a community-wide goal of transitioning 100% to renewable energy by 2035, assuming they'll be there. Because at the rate things are going, they could be underwater. Or fried. Seriously. But I hope they make their goal. I really do. Eat the rich. Lori, I used to laugh at that. I actually think it might become a possibility. They're going to be the best fed and the most healthy when we find them in their bunkers. Because those are the first people I'm going after. If all hell breaks loose and this country falls apart into like apocalypse now kind of shit, I will be finding rich folk in their bunkers. And yeah, I'll go all out Mad Max. Why not? Why not? I'll run, but I'll be the guy with weed. Right? Wait, don't shoot. Joint. Right? Let's work this out, buddy. I got 90 flavors. That's how I'll stay alive throughout this apocalypse. Be the weed man. Go see the weed man. Just don't piss him off. Another good thing, John and Marcus are still on YouTube. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Still here.
Same.
Still here with that massive audience. Thank you guys for being here. Really. All sorts of great new comments. Yeah. Sorry, Mike. Yeah. Great. A lot of new comments from new people and a lot of old people showing up that I haven't seen in a long time.
And again, I would like to address our international audience and don't be shy. Come to us, join us, report about your country, and you're welcome. Join us.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you. Just a couple more climate things. Remember, it was a few days ago, last week, I don't remember when it was, there was an explosion in Firestone, Colorado, which is near my dad, and I was all worried about it, and the house blew up, and 2 people died, and at the time, there was reporting, there was one reporting that actually included information, this was EcoWatch, I believe, about the fact that Anadarko, the oil and gas company that put the fracking well really close to the house, was going to shut down about 3,000 wells while they investigated what was possibly going on. And then there was another report in the Denver Post that didn't mention any of this information at all, just said a home blew up, nobody knows why, and 2 people are dead. Those are the 2 different narratives we had. One was in a smaller paper with more details. The other one was in the larger paper with less details. Turns out, uncapped, abandoned gas line caused the home explosion. This isn't an uncapped gas line at the home. This is an uncapped, abandoned, unchecked, unregulated, unknown, unwatched, just open gas line somewhere around this home. It's a suburb. They have fracking wells and gas lines surrounding them. This one, somebody forgot to put a lid on it, and it blew up. When the oil and gas industry tells you that their shit's safe, tell them to go fuck themselves, because they're lying. This is really close to where my dad lives. And if my dad had been blown up by a gas explosion, there would be oil and gas executives with targets on their heads. That's somebody at some point in this country. Somebody. Unbelievable neglect. And I hope in Colorado, the government, because there is a great portion of government in Colorado that is sucking from the teat of oil and gas. They like their oil and gas in Colorado. They make a lot of money off of it. Even the guys that say they want for the environment, they're all about oil and gas and fracking. And you guys in Colorado, if you want to have your state, which is no longer, it's no longer Rocky Mountain High. The air is nasty. Your water's nasty. It's not the beautiful state that I remember. The brown cloud, we used to have a brown cloud in Colorado in the 70s and 80s, which was caused by congestion and shit. And that kind of went away as things were getting better. The brown cloud now exists across all of the fracked shit land of Colorado. And my dad is surrounded by it. God help the executive that injures my father. I'm just gonna say it, because I don't believe in laws that govern in that instance. Sorry. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to sue the gas people. Colorado's watershed has been contaminated massively. Massively. My dad talks about how Longmont secured really good water rights with some reservoir that's way high up in the mountains. And they did this a long time ago because Mike Butler, chief of public safety for Longmont, is smart. And the city of Longmont is smart. They own their own high-speed internet. They're installing fiber. They have banned fracking, even though they've been told by the Oil and Gas Commission that they can't do that. They practice restorative justice, and they have for 20 years. They're the most progressive city in Colorado, but they can't do anything about being surrounded by towns that are not. That's the problem with being a beacon of hope surrounded by idiocy. You know, it's it's just, Colorado was so beautiful. Yeah, Jilly, I grew up, that's from 1976 on, and it's sad. And when I go back home, it's nasty. I get nosebleeds. Anyway, David Martin, Colorado Governor Salazar, Obama's Interior Secretary, and Hillary's transition chief opened up thousands of acres of ocean drilling and ignored the Endangered Species Act. Yeah. Didn't know that. Pennsylvania watershed and wells are giving the poor cancer. Across the United States, they've discovered hundreds and hundreds of instances of just water with whatever poisons, nitrates. Tom Fegan showed a map. Should find this map. It's of the USGS water table levels, and it shows levels of different pollutants in the water, where they are, what their concentrations are. This is a live action map that the U.S. government has. In other words, however long they've had this map, they've known where water's been polluted and really haven't given a fuck. Thought that was interesting. You know, thought that was really interesting. We're almost to the end here. It's got a couple things. West Virginia's biggest utility, I found this interesting. That we've been talking about the coal industry, which is really reacting not the way Trump wants them to react to the idea of him revitalizing coal, because the coal industry doesn't want to revitalize the coal industry. Coal industry really wants to become the renewable energy industry. This coal CEO says they're investing in renewables because they want to be attractive as a power company. So this is like this is the biggest power company in West Virginia. They have used to produce most of their energy through coal, and I actually think they might still at this point, but Chris Beam, 48, the newly minted executive chief of Appalachian Power, is looking to build solar and wind farms despite favorable new coal policies coming down from the governor's mansion, who told him do more coal, right? And he said, no, we won't. But there's conflicting messages with this guy. He says the debate on climate change is over, but he says we're investing in renewables to attract corporate customers, not to deliver it to our citizens. So either way, coal mines are going solar, and if they look to the Germans for a little help, they could turn their empty mines into batteries for their solar arrays. Right, Marcus?
Yeah, possible.
We need Germans' help. They do these things. Crazy battery shit and stuff. It's Germans. All right.
We should support everyone, everybody, every country should support each other country in the efforts to make the climate change not that hard as it looks to be.
Yes.
Coming over us.
Well, and we will have to. We'll have to, because imagine if the United States continues to get pummeled by these storms, or at least mid-America, right? I mean, we have no idea what's coming for the coasts, really. But as the United States continues to be devastated by these storms, by the heat, right? The heat we're going to experience this summer, the heat we're experiencing already is off the fucking charts. So you got rain off the charts, heat off the charts. We haven't even hit summer yet. We didn't really have a winter. We had brief bursts of crazy storm activity. We had tornadoes in the snow. We had lightning, thunder, snow, and tornadoes all together at the same time. That's new. I don't even know that they have a word for that. They might now, but I don't think they had a word for that before. Oh shit, motherfuck storm. That's what that was. All right? A category fuck. So as the United States is annihilated by climate karma, we will seek help from other nations because we're not going to have the resources. How many times do you think Missouri is going to be able to get pounded by historic, which they keep calling these fucking things historic floods? How many times? There's more on the way. We're not even done with this year. I'm so excited. I know it sounds like I'm a sick person because I'm excited about it, and I'm not excited about people dying at all. I'm not excited about the environmental damage. I'm excited about seeing Mother Nature take its course as somebody who likes to study the planet. Right? I think it's amazing watching Mother Nature go, oh no, we're going to fix this. Sorry. You done pissed in my bed. I'm mad. That's what Mother Nature's saying. We destroyed a balance that had been in balance for tens of thousands of years, and it's just exciting. It's exciting. Even if we all die from it, it's exciting to watch. There'll be so many videos that nobody will ever get to see. There's a link in here of 23 environmental rules rolled back in Trump's first 100 days. That right there just says enough. If things aren't bad now, and we know things are starting to get bad, we know that they're going to get worse exponentially, and we know that we've now loosened all of our environmental protections so that the poisoning can increase what was already increasing. How do you feel about that, Marcus?
Not good.
Me either. All right. I'm going to cheer you guys up with this. Capturing rainwater is illegal now in some places, right? I just saw we do it here too, but yeah, in some places it's illegal to capture your own rainwater. Cops are going to go around bust you for that. Same New York cops that busted people for dope, pot. You're going to go around bust you for your rainwater buckets and tell everybody they just made you safer. Here's this. This is positive. Run this from Facebook. These damn pop-up messages. Run this from Facebook. This is cool. This is something I would not think would even work or fly, and I hope it does. I hope this is going good for them. I really hope this store is busting, is making profit. I hope they are making profit, and I hope they become successful, and I don't know how we need to promote this store, but this is a brilliant fucking idea. And I think it's one of those ones where they're not going to talk and we're just going to have to listen to words. So I will try to say all the things for everybody out there in the podcast world. But basically, this is a store that I believe the correct term would be, kind of cradle to cradle objects here. All of the stuff made here is made either without packaging or it's designed to just go back into the earth. It's pretty phenomenal. Let's watch this. I'll do my best to narrate during the thing here. If it plays. Wrong cursor. This shop helps you create less trash.
Package-free shop is a place where you can come and get all of the tools, but also the soft skills that you need for living a zero-waste life. So whether it's buying a reusable coffee cup or learning how to make your own toothpaste and deodorant, it's a place for you to come and learn and discover reusable alternatives to single-use disposables.
The reason that we started this store was because the hardest part to going waste-free was finding all of the tools that you needed to live a sustainable lifestyle in a convenient way. Some of the products that we have in the store do come in packaging, but we're offering customers the opportunity to give that packaging back to us, and we as the retailer will take that responsibility and properly dispose of, through recycling or composting, any packaging that's on a product.
Isn't that cool?
Yep.
I don't know what that next one is. Geez, I wasn't ready for that. Lost my cursor. There we go. I think that's a great idea. That somebody would even that those products even, I didn't even know those products existed. So I think that whole thing's cool. Do you have that kind of stuff in Germany? Is that stuff popular over there at all? Ever heard of this?
It is not popular here yet, but I know there are some stores opened in Germany which offer food and without any packaging. I think the concept is close to what we saw.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll. I mean, you guys are farther ahead than us anyway. We'll bring over that stuff. I don't even know where that was actually. I'm assuming that was in the United States somewhere, but I don't know. I didn't see where it said they were. But anyway, two last things. I know we're running a little late. We're going to end here in a few minutes. Marcus is going to set up the final song, which is interesting because neither one of us ever heard of the band or the song. North Korea, just The Intercept, putting out some really good content. And I just, this is in here. This is a link. If somebody wants to ask, if you're in a conversation and somebody's talking about North Korea and blah, 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 they do hate us as a nation, and they have a good reason. All right. Despite Kim Jong-un's nuttiness and all that shit, you know, we have our own nutty now, so we can't really complain about his nutty because our nutty's doing a lot more damage. We went into this thing called the Korean War, and Americans who were not involved in the Korean War, Americans that were too young to even know about the Korean War, learned about the Korean War really from the TV show MASH. That was the only real understanding of the Korean War for me as a child growing up was MASH. And the Korean War was a war where we did not do much. We had crappy looking helicopters and there was a jungle and there were hospital stations. That's what I knew of the Korean War. Okay, I didn't know any. It happened from 1950 to 1953. So North Korea actually started the war. So let's put blame where it belongs. They crossed the 38th parallel, and they started the war. We had North Korea, South Korea, and we were like, oh shit, they crossed 38th parallel. Here we go. But that's not the reason they hate us. They started the war. The reason they hate us is because we just decided to indiscriminately bomb. We carpet bombed and carpet bombed and carpet bombed and carpet bombed and continued to carpet bomb. And we annihilated, per quoted statements of military officials, 20% of their population. 20% of their population was carpet bombed to death by us. So when you want to ask why we have this thing with North Korea, why they dislike us, it's because they know this. And part of North Korea's thing as a nation is to teach their people these histories. So they embed it in their heads that this is what America did. Right? So I just wanted to clear the record there. They did start the war we violated every convention of morality that you could apply to war and carpet bombed the fuck out of them until we were probably out of bombs. It was probably just like a mass sale, like, use everything we have on the shelves and we'll build more. What a great boon for the military industry. All right. So I just wanted to clear the air there. Thank you, Intercept, for providing actual, like history. America has a memory loss problem because mainstream media does not tell us about history. That's part of their job. Their job is to move forward. We don't learn from history. We don't look at it. We only talk about it if it brings ratings. Otherwise, we're just moving on to the next thing. That's why Americans really don't have any context of just how warmongering and awful the nation's been. This is the result of our ignorance right there. I love that chart. Do you see how many things are bad in this picture? This is the picture about the millions of people. And then we're going to do the song, Get Out of Here, Marcus. But see how many things are being said in this one image? So you got 133 rivers. Here's the national crisis right now. This should be a National Guard calling. 133 rivers in some sort of flooding. The record is what we hit right now. Do you see the purple? Latest observation, 43.27 foot of rise. Forecast crest, 44.1. And it's going to go higher and higher and higher. 17 million people under flash flood watch. And then look at the picture of Eureka, Missouri, where the streets are basically, it looks like Vienna. Right? Kentucky Derby. Temps in the 60s have occurred only 22% of Kentucky Derby's 143 years. So weird temperatures there. Busy times for the Weather Channel. If you're going to put advertising somewhere, that's where it's going to be. People are going to start paying a lot more attention to that. All right, so we've talked about a lot of not happy stuff, really. A lot of deep stuff. And I've said a lot of harsh things. And something I forgot to mention the other day about Chris Hedges and his Salon article is there's a part in there where he talks about what makes a revolutionary. Right? What's the difference? What's the difference between somebody who's just awake and a revolutionary? And I think if I interpret his words correctly, because this isn't a quote, it's the ability to reach out of your comfort zone, make statements that are startling, right? You have to, the whole purpose is to be a little bit obnoxious, a little bit more of a, hello, take a look at this. You're a loud siren making it like the town crier or the guy screaming it's the end of the world. You have to be comfortable enough with your own sanity/insanity to be willing to do that, to be willing to put yourself in the spotlight, be ridiculed, be told you're too angry or too harsh or that you're saying too violent things. That's whether you're doing a good job or bad job at it, that's what being a revolutionary means, is that you're willing to step out, say the things, do the things that everybody else is too uncomfortable, too afraid to do. And the purpose isn't to say, this is the way to do it. The purpose is to draw attention to the fact that something needs to be done beyond what we're doing now. Beyond the bitching and complaining at each other, right? The bickering, the non-unification, the fact that the revolution will not be organized. That's what's killing us right now. We have to rise above the petty issues and we have to mobilize around what matters. I would use what's happening in Middle America right now as that unification. America is under siege because climate change is here. And it's pissed. Now, all that said, we have hope. Things are changing so fast, way faster than I thought. Way faster than I thought. And in great ways. I think we will unify. The question is, what's that going to look like? And so I'm going to let Markus set up this hopeful, happy song. He's just going to tell you information about the band. Right, Markus?
Are you kidding?
You had the wiki pulled up.
Okay. before I come to our outro song, yes, hope is the topic of the song. And
there you go.
Yesterday we learned that Bernie is coming to Ireland, and he sold out a show within minutes. And I would like to address to Bernie Sanders right now, because I'm sure he's watching our show on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I would like to invite Bernie Sanders to come to Germany, only for 1 or 2 days, and then go back to America. But come here to Germany. We want to see Bernie in Germany. I want to go to Berlin to meet you and report about it here in the show. And Bernie, you got to come to Germany. All right.
I think that's great. And then you can have him there, and we can have him on the show. Bernie, live from Marcus's house.
Yes, of course, yeah. Well, this is My Little Hope, and the song we're going out with is from Guided by Voices, and I was very astounded that John didn't know this band, because I don't know them either, and I only know one song. This song is very nice. I think it's Hold On Hope. And I checked, of course, who this band is, and it turned out they were formed in 1983, and they split several times. I think they had 2 reunions, and what's remarkable about them is, when I look at their discography, is that they are publishing a minimum 1 album per year, in some years or 3 albums, and and they are coming from the British invasion, garage rock and prog rock and punk, post-punk, and this is my topic. And I'm sorry that I didn't know this band before, because the song is very nice, as I said, and it is Hold On Hope. And it got a little fame. It was aired on one show of Scrubs, Maybe some of you guys watched this, and you remember this.
Scrubs?
Okay. Scrubs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was on one show, and Hold On Hope, guys, and see you tomorrow.
All right, wait. Thank you for that. That's good to know. Yeah, I'd never heard of the song or the band, so this is something new for us. Melissa wants to ask: is that a new fancy chair, Marcus? Did you get a new chair?
A new fancy chair? No, I invested a lot in my new computer system, and the chair is nothing which I had on my shopping list yet.
All right.
Maybe next year.
Maybe it's because we can see it. We rarely can see it. That's what it is. Lovely chair. Thank you. There you go. See, this show is the pinnacle of professionalism, everybody. Just always on time and always on point. Thank you for being here, and please join us tomorrow for Awake with John and Marcus. Here's Hold On Hope that I had set up until we talked about the chair. We'll go out just as cracked as we came in. Why not? Peace, everybody.
chance we take to be